Hello. Welcome to the Pars Health TV channel. We hope you're having a good day and you are happy and healthy. In this channel, we give you tips to keep you healthy and out of trouble. In this video, we want to talk about the 5 healthiest types of bread to eat. This video is for educational purposes only, and if you have any specific condition or illness, you should consult with your doctor. There are so many varieties of bread lining supermarket shelves these days, it can be hard to figure out which is the best to buy. This guide will help you discover the healthiest bread available today, what to consider when buying bread, and what types of bread to avoid. And at the end we are going to be sharing with you 5 types of the healthiest bread, so stay tuned with us. If you like topics like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to see daily videos just like this one. Alright, let's get started. Bread has gotten a really bad reputation because of various diet fads, no carb, gluten-free, paleo, etc. It's been vilified as the cause for everything from weight gain, to inflammation, to diabetes, to digestion issues. The list could go on. The truth is, most types of bread are usually processed, high in sugar, and high in simple carbohydrates, which can cause weight gain, heart disease, and other issues. Also, the main problem with wheat, unless you have celiac disease or severe gluten sensitivity that has been diagnosed, is that we eat too much of it as a society in general. Eating white bread, white crackers, white pasta, white rice, or anything with white flour is the equivalent of taking a spoonful of sugar and dissolving it in your mouth. This is because when you eat a grain that has been refined into flour, your body quickly metabolizes it like sugar. Any grain pulverized into a fine flour has a high glycemic index as much as sugar, and this causes your insulin to spike. This can make you gain weight and contribute to diabetes and inflammation. But there are types of bread that can actually be really good for you and won't cause all of these problems. So how are you supposed to figure out which bread is the healthiest? And how can you avoid bread that looks healthy but actually isn't? Healthiest bread characteristics. Sprouted grains, sprouted wheat, or other whole grain products are some of the first ingredients you should look for. No added sugar, no added sweeteners on the ingredients list, less than 2 grams sugar per slice. No high fructose corn syrup. At least 2 grams of fiber per serving. No more than 100 calories per slice. No ingredients you can't pronounce. If you can't pronounce it, it is likely a preservative or stabilizer that is not necessary for bread. Healthy fats, such as olive oil or avocado oil. Organic healthy bread is always a good choice, if available. For some pieces of bread, add flax seeds for added omega-3 fatty acids and fiber. Ingredient list to avoid when buying bread. Anything with enriched, bleached, or unbleached as part of the first ingredient. Enriched wheat essentially means white flour. Be wary of wheat or even 100% whole wheat. Some bread will have this as an ingredient but aren't truly made with whole grain flour, and are still highly processed and refined. Anything with less than 2 grams fiber per serving. Anything with raisins, dried fruits, cinnamon, banana, honey, or vanilla listed on the packaging. Dough conditioners like azodicarbonamide, Dayton, monoglycerides, diglycerides, sodium stearoyl lactylate, are just chemicals added to the bread to make the bread making process faster and scalable to big batches. They're not necessary for real bread, and if these ingredients are on the label, it's a good sign that the bread isn't truly healthy. GMO ingredients like soybean oil and corn oil, honestly, these are just not necessary to make bread. Preservatives like calcium propionate or stabilizers like maltodextrin. Bread isn't supposed to be able to last on the counter for 1-2 weeks without getting hard and moldy. If you see any ingredients you can't pronounce, it's likely a preservative, so put the bread down and find another option. If your bread has yeast, it will likely have a tiny bit of honey or sugar because you need sugar to activate the yeast. That being said, anything over 2 grams per slice is unnecessary. Watch out for high fructose corn syrup, any kind of syrup, or artificial sweeteners added to bread. This is especially true for light bread. Artificial flavors and coloring. Caramel coloring is often added to fake wheat bread to make them seem browner. If you see this on the label, avoid that bread. Number 1. Sprouted grain bread. It's made from whole grains, so there's fiber and protein to help keep you full. It tends to be lower in sodium and it usually doesn't have added sugar. It is a bit dense and chewy. It is good for toast but not as much for sandwiches. You may find it in the freezer section or the bread aisle, depending on where you shop. Number 2. Whole wheat bread. It's not as fancy as some of the other sounding bread, but whole wheat bread is a healthy classic. You may grow up eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on whole wheat bread. Look for whole wheat flour as the first ingredient. If wheat flour is listed first, that's not whole grain flour. You'll want to check the sugar and sodium content too. You can find whole wheat sandwich bread, but also whole wheat naan bread and pita bread. If you are up for it, you can make your own at home with our healthy whole wheat bread recipes. Number 3. Sourdough bread. If you haven't hopped on the sourdough baking trend yet, you should at least try eating some. Sourdough is made by fermenting flour and water rather than using yeast. The fermentation process may make some nutrients more available in the bread. There usually isn't added sugar either. Scientists are still learning more about sourdough benefits, and if it's beneficial for blood sugar and gut health, but it sure is delicious. Number 4. Seeded bread. Seeds are some of the most nutritious foods you can eat. They pack a lot of nutrients, including fiber, protein, healthy fats, vitamins, and minerals into a tiny package. Seeds also add a nice crunch, if you like that in your bread. If you're buying seeded bread, you should check to make sure it's made with whole grains, but you can also make your own. This seeded whole grain quick bread is one of my favorite recipes. We also have a low-carb seeded quick bread that's made with almond flour and coconut flour and plenty of seeds, of course. Number 5. English muffins. So they're technically not bread, but you will find them in the bread aisle. Many people love English muffins because they tend to be a little bit smaller than bread, perfect if you're not as hungry or watching your carb intake, but you can still use them as toast or to make a sandwich. As with bread, look for a whole grain English muffin and check the labels for sodium and added sugars. Some breeds are healthier than others. To choose beneficial bread, look for varieties made from 100% whole grain and or sprouted grain flours. Make sure your bread has no added sweeteners or vegetable oils. Whichever you choose, remember to eat bread in moderation as part of a balanced diet, alongside a variety of nutritious whole foods. If you are interested in videos like this, make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We hope you have a wonderful day. See you in the next video.